Okay, everyone. So I thought this would be a good use of our time here. I just wanted to walk you through a little bit about this portfolio conference and final exam. Um, so I'm not going to read this to you, but I am going to highlight some things. So we really want to think about, now that you've looked at, um, some things that I posted online about how our course has really satisfied the course English division guidelines and the objectives. And so now this really comes to a culmination here. And you almost want to think of this as an exit interview, in a sense. You have your portfolios either in hard copy or e-portfolios, whichever you've decided to do. And you are going to essentially prove what you have learned, and maybe some things that you have mastered or some things that you need to continue to work on. And one of the objectives, as always, is to show evidence to support your claim in anything. So your claim here is essentially that, you've created this opus, this portfolio of work. This shows the skills you've learned, and you can articulate that in a conference format. And you're going to back that up with evidence, and the evidence is showing certain parts and elements of your portfolio to me to substantiate that. So it really comes together as a nice culminating assignment. So what I've done here is I've taken just a few guidelines, about 5 items here, and these are the questions and the prompts that I'm going to pull from. And it really should not come as a surprise. These are things that you would have thought about as you did the reflection portion of this portfolio. If you followed the guidelines that the English division has decided on, and I noted on our portfolio assignment, then the reflection really has definitely prepared you for this conference. But if I were you, I would go over some of these prompts and these questions, these ideas, and make sure that you would be able to articulate it in a one-on-one situation with me, guide me through your organized, polished, professional portfolio, offering evidence for how you answer these questions or prompts. So one very typical one is how the major skills you've learned, and showing me where you demonstrate that in your learning. We also focus on MLA format in this particular course, and not just the formatting part, but also how to aptly paraphrase and when to directly quote, and using signal phrases and incorporating and integrating that into our own writing. And then there is a section here about grammar and style, because that is an important component. We worked on comma splices and fragments and overuse of being verbs and passive voice, and avoiding second person and first person in our writing. So that's an element that I'd like you to consider, to look at, really identify and trace how you've improved in those particular areas, identifying certain parts of certain essays where you make revisions. And then even just a summary of your portfolio reflection, certainly not reading it, but now that you've written and you've reflected, if you can articulate some of that to me. And then these 2 prompts, how will you implement what you've learned in the class, or the value or importance of writing in your chosen career or everyday life? And that really is this idea of making some practical application of these skills. And then I also added some other supplemental questions that I may ask as a follow-up question, or you can certainly preview these and make these part of your answers or above. And then down here I have a rubric for us, and then a conference schedule, which I am going to post this on the announcement on Canvas, and you can fill this in and sign up for your particular slot. So I hope this gives you a better idea and please make sure you read this note about the times are approximate. Um, I hope this gives you a better idea so that you can totally be prepared and feel confident next Wednesday for your writing portfolio conference and final exam. Hope this helps. See you later. Good luck.